we just took out the decocking lever, bushing, and the spring. Next thing that I want to take out is the hammer spring. Alright, and this one is consists of 3 pieces, and there's a little bit of notch down here, and you just want to take a flathead screwdriver. You want to go ahead and put that in there, and what we're going to do is we're going to push up and lift out the piece. I don't even know what I forgot what it's called, but you lift it, push it up, and you're going to lift out a little bit just to free it from the little bit, the hooks right there that hold it in place. Just want to probably put your hand over there just to make sure the spring doesn't fly out on you. Just go ahead and push and lift it out. That's it. Release the tension, and it's going to come out down here. Alright, so you got this the spring block, polymer block. You got your hammer spring and the hammer strut. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, now my gun's pretty clean. I just cleaned it before I put it back in the case. So if you were taking your gun down, taking it down, and you wanted to go ahead and clean this, you know, you get out and get in here, clean all those crevices, clean all the parts, get them greased, oiled up. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the ejector, the sear spring, and the safety, what was that called? The safety thing. I forgot. What it does is when you pull the trigger, it actuates the firing pin safety block. Okay? And now that you have the hammer spring out of here, just be careful not to lock this down. Might make it a little bit harder to take it apart. So what you want to do is take a little flathead screwdriver, and down in here, I don't know if you guys can see that, the sear spring is resting on one of these roll pins, and that's what's making tension. So you just take a little flathead screwdriver and you just take and release the tension on the sear spring. And you saw the hammer drop, so that's fine. So now that you have that loose, it's real easy to push out the pin that's holding this assembly in. You'll notice here there are 2 pins. There's this one roll pin here. This one you don't need to touch it. This first one. It's this second one here. Then you just push it out to the right side of the firearm. Go ahead and push it out. And when you do this, when you take the pin out, more than likely all 3 of this whole assembly is just going to fall out. Okay? So, just like that. Which is perfectly fine. Alright. Okay. Put those aside. And what you have left in here, hanging up here, is the ejector. You can see that it's held on still by this one roll pin that you don't have to do anything, you just pull it out, and there's 2 holes in it. Alright? And that's how it's held in place, that's how it's indexed, is with those 2 roll pins. You just slide it out. Okay? And when it's in the firearm, when you put it back together later, these 3 pieces, they're gonna go together like that. Okay? And you're gonna have your sear spring in there too. Alrighty. And you only have a couple components left. Is the hammer, which is free to move now. So that one, you just take your punch again and just push the pin out. Real simple. And your hammer's free. And what we're going to do next is, let's go ahead and take out the magazine release mag drop. Okay. Now this one's a little bit tricky to take out. When you take it out, there's a little detent in there that's holding it in. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but there's a little detent that we're going to be pushing, and that has a spring underneath it. And then on the back side, pushing against this plate is the mainspring. So you want to get a little... I recommend, or what I've seen other people do, is they wrap the gun with some cellophane or some saran wrap. So then if in case you lose a grip on it and the spring pushes it out and all those pieces go flying, it's caught underneath the cellophane, underneath the saran wrap, and you're safe. But I don't have any on me, so we'll just be very careful. Alright. Go ahead and just push in on that little notch that you see. Pull up a little bit. Alright, and that will come out. Alright, it fell out for me, but you can see inside here is the magazine release spring, the main spring, and this little guy right here, little tiny spring, little tiny detent is what's holding it into the frame of the gun. And you can see, I'm not sure if you guys can catch that, there's a little tiny notch sticking out of that detent. Right, and that's what's inside the frame, holding it, keeping it from coming out. Okay. There's one more piece here. I've never taken it out. I'm not sure if I want to. It is the hammer return spring. Let's try it. I don't know if I have a punch that's small enough for that. Okay. So pretty much what you want to do is you're just gonna push that out. Let's give it a try. Little pin comes out, and out comes the hammer return spring. Okay,